event took place where every drama, sitcom, cartoon, Family Guy, you name it, every redneck goes and joins Al-Qaeda. And then the Army manuals say that that's the new thing that's coming. And even though it makes no sense, that's the branding. And the new threat is the Tea Party, not Al-Qaeda. You've all seen that. You've all heard that. Returning veterans, gun owners. And so then we see this happen, and we see a drill, which they get caught doing, but they then lie about. And then InfoWars goes out with Dan Badandi and my crew. We take over all 3 press conferences. We bring up the issue of false flag. It becomes one of the most searched terms out there. InfoWars probably gets, let's be conservative, 15 million extra visitors the last few days, on top of the regular million or so we get a day. It's creepy. I don't like being in this position. But I, as a real person, have a responsibility to come out and tell the truth. You think I like having the LA Times show me and my listeners as rats coming out of a sewer and then make jokes about I claim Navy SEALs did this with flying monkeys when I said, hey, Navy SEALs are there clearly, and that's now being reported by major newspapers? Do you think it's fun to engage the people that really stage this and provocateured it? See, what is a false flag? It's a lot of different things. It can be knowing somebody's going to do something and letting them do it to take control of a society. It can be helping those people do it, provocateuring, leading them. Or it can be purely staging something and blaming a patsy. And our government run by shadow forces, foreign banks, has staged the Gulf of Tonkin to get us into Vietnam, Operation Ajax, Gladio, Northwoods, and so many other events that have been declassified. A brief history of false flag terror attacks, going over all of these examples. It's just a simple frame-up. And so we would be crazy not to look at this first as a false flag. And again, they were trying to blame other people earlier. And you can chalk that up to desperate police trying to find somebody. My issue is that in most cases, government has a hand in it. Even the New York Times has been forced to come out last April. In fact, guys, type in New York Times, FBI, terror. And the first link is the New York Times admitting they manufactured all these plots. They went out and found people, whole cloth, and gave them real weapons to try to cause attacks. Now, again, I'm not saying the whole FBI is even involved in this. The higher echelons that want to be able to grab power, be above the law, get rid of the Constitution, they want this. Because the money power in this country, the private Federal Reserve gets $85 billion a month of your private tax dollars now in Too Big to Fail. They don't want to go to jail like Bernie Madoff or Ken Lay. They want to set the precedent under shadow government, national security, to be above the law and be able to disappear citizens and spy on us and do whatever they want, whenever they want. So right now, in fact, we have one of these clips where they talk about the gas, correct? And again, it sounds like they're talking about burning them up, but it could also be like CS gas or tear gas. And they also talk about firing dummy bullets, which is a term for rubber bullets, because a blank is called a blank, but a dummy bullet is a rubber bullet. It can also mean something else, but that's really a dum-dum, which is kind of a primitive hollow point. But the point is that big things are happening. And if they can burn up Dorner, who I'm not saying was probably a good guy, but who knows the truth, he never got a trial. That's why we have due process. If they can burn him up and say, let's burn him up and then do it, who knows? Who knows if these guys are really guilty? Their friends, their family, their neighbors go, this guy was going to medical school. This guy was totally happy. I talked to him last week. There's no way. Did they get told, hey, you're secret agent man by all the CIA ads on TV? Did they get told, hey, be part of this drill, place these bags like the 7-7 people? Which that is what happened there. Did they get set up like Muhammad Atta and others that were trained at U.S. military bases, like the Defense Language School on record? That's what has to be looked at. That's what I'm saying. And then don't let them come and say, we've got to have TSA on every street corner. We've got to take all your liberties. We've got to take all your rights to keep you safe when 400 National Guard, all these private contractors, 2,000 police and more was at that marathon, most of them at the finish line, and they couldn't save you. I mean, let's say the bombing's real. Let's say 2 guys from Central Asia did this. Let's say they really Are Chechens, and this really happened. You got to ignore the CIA's been funding the Chechen rebels for 20 years. Well, let's just ignore that, too. They've got it more infiltrated than anything you can imagine. They're infiltrating Russia, just like they created al-Qaeda. Let's just say it's real. Then keep your damn hands off my liberties and my freedoms, because they're coming after our guns. They're coming after our Fourth Amendment. They're coming after everything and saying you're going to have to get used to having your bags searched everywhere. What if there was a real terrorist? If I was a terrorist, hypothetically, or if you were, the first place you'd go would be to a security checkpoint with all those people and blow it up. You can't stop people killing presidents that have the best security in the world if someone's dedicated. This is a load of crap. It's a hoax that they can or will protect you. And look at Katrina. They didn't come and help you there. They came and took your guns. The government's training for civil war. It's training and branding patriots and veterans and gun owners and libertarians as the terrorist. And they tried to sell this as that until we, I think, exposed the patsy, the redneck patsy, the cutout. He might not even known it. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we are doing our best here. And I want you to pray for Infowars.com, because I'm real. My crew's real. We've been working, some of us, 18, 20 hours a day since this broke Monday afternoon. And the story is changing all the time. This is unraveled like nothing we've ever seen. I'm going to go to a special report with Leanne McAdoo on drones and the lies they've been telling there. We're going to come back with the live edition of Infowars Nightly News with David Knight, and we've got Jakari Jackson and Marcos Morales and Darren McBreen and our good buddy in there, the great IT guru, the robot master, and we've got, I mentioned Rob Dew, just in there busting their butts to bring you this. And I want to thank you for supporting us as well, because I've been so busy the last week or 5 days that I've hardly even plugged our sponsors, our products, how we fund ourselves with your support. So InfoWarsStore.com. If you're not a PrisonPlanet.tv subscriber, one membership is 11 memberships, $5.95 a month, 55 cents per person. Get a master membership that's 11 memberships. Share your username and passcode, PrisonPlanet.tv. We're going to go to this special report with one of our newest reporters doing a great job. She won journalism awards at University of Texas. We're so happy to have her. And she's also worked in local TV. And then we're going to come back with David Knight, 20 years as a journalist and scientist, in studio, breaking down and giving you his perspective and his take straight ahead. But please, always question. Anybody that demonizes us for questioning is either ignorant or un-American or anti-liberty, because you should always question government. That's one of the third pillars, of journalism, is to question and check the government, the fourth estate. And our media has become repeaters that regurgitate what they're told. It's time to change that. And it's time to realize we're being demonized and attacked because we're on target. All right. We go to break now and come back with more of InfoWars Nightly News live at 6:07 Central Time, or 7:07 Central Time now. And we need to change that atomic clock over there. It's still off. Because I know it's 7:07, it says 6:07. And then we'll have more as they surround what I believe is a patsy. He may have been set up, may even be a real terrorist, but he's certainly being provocateur in Boston right now. We'll go ahead and go to that report.